Hi everyone, it's Natalie here from Sanskrit Blue. Um, so I wanted to come on today with kind of just a kind of an updated offering to the community that I feel is really kind of important to just to put out there at this time. Um, so I've had a lot of people, not a lot, I've had a few people come to me over the last few weeks from various different parts of my life. In great with great suffering related to things like job loss, with unspeakable things that I don't feel able to really expose. But suffice it to say, it's 2020, and the suffering that is taking place out there right now is really bad. It's rife. Um, the other thing that I have been reached out to, again, from various parts of my life and from my former life, as a teacher and so on, is people going through some really horrible things right now, where dying and death is related. And it occurred to me last night when I had someone reach out to me again, that I thought, I really should put this out to the greater community, just to clarify like what my position is with all of with tarot reading and with being a doula, because I don't want anyone not to reach out if it's something that you are needing to do right now. Okay. um, at all times, I think, I foresee wanting to offer um, a sliding scale and different options for being able to make use of my services where they're needed. In 2020, however, I have completely gone against all of that, against all business advice I've ever been given. Um, and I have freely offered both tarot readings and doula services to people who just really needed them, and really could not have afforded or had any assistance with things, if it were not available. And it has not caused any suffering to me at all whatsoever. It's something I have been absolutely able to offer very freely. And it seems sort of there's a divine timing component to it, because it's really only taken place in moments where I'm not busy, or where I haven't been in a really acute phase with my former client, right? So that tells me a lot about the sort of the spiritual component behind it, right? Um, Things align just right for a good reason. They really do. If you are in a position right now where you have a loved one who is, in the hospital, or where you are trying to make decisions about end of life for a loved one, or you're just simply trying to cope because it is the end of the year, it's Christmas, um, and you've got a loved one who is either home on hospice or may need to come home on hospice, or who, uh, whatever the circumstance is, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. I did offer, will work out money later. Um, Sometimes I just let people know what my PayPal is if they don't know what they can afford, and then they pay me later. I've been shocked a couple of times because people have been able to give me a lot more than I would ever have expected, um, when I was very happy to freely offer that, right? Um, so I just want to make sure that that's completely clear. I don't. I think you don't get into doing this work because you want to make money. you know, if you make money, it's a blessing. And certainly I have been very blessed in the sense that I have been able, the more I'm doing this work, the more I'm able to financially survive. And that blessing, really makes it that much more important to me to want to offer whatever I can, to whomever needs it. I hope that's clear. Um, it feels right to do that, especially right now. If you're not sure if I'm able to help you with something that's related to a loved one, you know, just reach out, because I can at least talk to you about it. I can offer you space. Um, I can offer you, non-judgmental listening, um, so that you can find your own solutions, tap your own resources, and figure out what would work best, right? Um, at the very least. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that that was really clear, really, really clear. The other thing is, again, this is 2020. There's a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, a lot of financial hardship, a lot of food insecurity, um, job loss, fears, concerns. It's bringing everything up to the surface, isn't it, right now? And so I also want to be clear that if you would benefit from just having a reading that would help you feel more tapped into your own path, right? Because sometimes we can feel really lost, and really separate from that path. Again, please reach out. I've given away several free readings this year, where I was really happy to do it, and then a few of the folks that I offered those to were able or wanted to come back and either barter, or I just found like a Venmo or a PayPal, chunk of money that they were able to afford. So that's always on the table, always. Um, don't hesitate. My interest in reading for people really is mostly around helping suffering. It really just motivates what I do, honestly. So, if you've watched my videos, if you've been around long enough where I was still doing like weekly general readings, that's really very much how I read. So my way of reading for clients when it's possible, is to put you back in touch with your path, with your inner knowing, your inner wisdom, and hopefully leave you feeling empowered, so that you know that you're in charge of your life, and you have a way to feel tapped in, um, with the greater, the greater good, the greater scheme of things for yourself, which is what I would really want for anyone, honestly. So if that's, if you're at that point and that is something you need, please reach out. Again, my email is it's in the box below. Usually I receive those. You can also reach out on Instagram through like a DM. Amazingly, even though I can be really bad, I just turned on those notifications again the other day, and I'm glad I did. I can be really bad at like just kind of like going, with social things or with things that are not very important. But when people are reaching out for help, it has a way of landing and reaching in a way that's very immediate. So I've been kind of shocked at moments at how lackadaisical I can be, and then the minute that there's something important, I don't miss it. So I have a trust in, that those. I have a lot of trust in the higher good, that puts us all in touch with one another, because it has, time and again worked out in ways that I've been able to, help someone that was maybe otherwise afraid to reach out, or didn't feel comfortable reaching out, or was worried of what, just, how it is when you're really in a bad place. And we live in a culture that that puts a lot of shame on needing to ask for help, right? When actually the truth of the matter is, that's completely unrealistic. It's much, much more realistic that we would need to reach out to others in our community, in our family, in our lives, to say, I'm struggling or I'm suffering. And yes, there is something you could do. Could you do this? Right? Yeah. So I put that out there because I realized last night, like, do people know? Like, do they know they could reach out? Um, and I think sometimes finances or lack of finances prevent people from reaching out when otherwise they might. Um, Thankfully, the person that reached out last night was not, um, it just wasn't a concern, I think. And that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Um, you know, at some point, I will have a more formal system for working these things out. Right now, it seems to take care of itself right now. So if that changes, obviously, then I'm sure the right system will come about that will help me change that. But for the moment, this has worked well, um, and yeah, I think it's clear. I think it's clear. So I just thought I would put that out, everybody. That really is where I am with things. That is why I spend a lot of my time, being still and quiet, because it restores that wellspring of space to be able to hold for people when they're in a really difficult situation. Um, and really, those are the situations I feel the most drawn to in life. Anyway, I'm often drawn to a crisis of some kind. With a lot of space and a lot of calm for it. So, yeah. So, reach out if you need to. And otherwise, you're going to find some interesting videos popping up over the next few days, related to all sorts of different topics. And with that, I send you tons and tons of love and really heartfelt wishes for, for whatever you're celebrating right now. And I hope that we're all maybe able to celebrate at least a little something. There's always something in our lives that, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, that is worth celebrating. Even in the midst of a lot of darkness and a lot of strife and difficulty and suffering. So, yeah. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.